Porsche Taycan review, 4S and RWD EV driven. The Porsche Taycan is so good it's firmly near the top of our list of the best electric cars on sale today, so it's no wonder it's become the second best-selling range in the company's lineup. This Porsche Taycan review looks at the entry-level model and the 4S, including the cheaper 2 and all-wheel drive models. And, as we'll see, considering a cheaper Taycan does not mean you will sacrifice talent or desirability one jot. While many manufacturers are chasing headline-grabbing 0 to 60 miles per hour times and taming 2 tons of high-speed batteries and momentum with all-wheel drive, the existence of the rear-wheel drive Taycan can raise a few questions. But then again, it's £13,000 less than the 4S, putting the Porsche in the heart of Tesla Model S budgets. Porsche Taycan review. We test entry-level EV. Propelled by 402 bhp of electric motor, the two-wheel drive Taycan can reach 62 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds. Frankly, is it faster than a Tesla, is on your mind, skip down to the 4S. This is a very different equation, and it's one that reveals Porsche's luxury skills without the distraction of face-bending G-forces. As with any Porsche, you can forget that list price. Once you've raided the options list, you'll still be paying much more than a Tesla will cost. But the lesser Taycan presents a character that is much more than simply a cost-reduced EV. With the Performance Plus battery, it can boast a range of 301 miles, though our 99% charged one in cold weather reported 211 miles, but it's how it drives that stands out. And the 4S, where the Taycan launched with its two most powerful, all-wheel drive derivatives, the well into six figures Turbo and Turbo S, the 4S comes in at significantly less before options and 523 bhp. That's still a good bit more than the new entry-level Taycan, 402 bhp, 5.4 seconds 0 to 62 miles per hour. But where that car is rear-wheel drive, the 4S's premium starts to look like a gap you must bridge when you factor in twin-motor all-wheel drive and a handy performance advantage. The 4S is 1.5 seconds faster 0 to 62 miles per hour and, with the performance battery upgrade, capable of 8.5 seconds 0 to 99 miles per hour, versus 11 seconds for the Taycan. Porsche quotes a WLTP maximum combined range of 288 miles on the Performance Plus battery or 254 miles without it, versus 301 and 268 for the rear-drive Taycan. Performance Plus. It's a £4,049 bigger battery option that adds weight but also increases power and range. With it fitted, as our test car is, peak power climbs to 563 bhp. What's the interior like? Climb into either and the excitement continues to ramp up because you sit low, seat on the floor if you want, in a proper Porsche driving position. The wheel and instruments ahead of you also feel 911, and this is the genius of the Taycan. Yes, it's heavy, very heavy, and predictably it deploys every weight masking trick in the book, from huge tires through air suspension to massively powerful e-motors. But where none of this is unusual for a premium contemporary EV, most of which are SUVs, the Taycan is not an SUV, of course. The I-Pace, for example, drives well despite being the shape it is. The Porsche drives well because it is the shape it is. How does 4S compare to the Turbo? Pin it and there isn't the otherworldly, faintly nauseating shove of a Taycan Turbo or Turbo S, but the 4S's acceleration is still hugely impressive, particularly in that all-important 30 to 80 miles per hour range. And, being all-wheel drive, traction is absolute, even in near-freezing conditions, which feels right for a car with a remit this rounded. Rear seat space is good. Far better than a 911, if less generous than the back of a BMW i7. Incidentally, the 4S's all-wheel drive is far from fixed. Call up the relevant displays on the driver's display, a curved glass screen with touch controls at each end for the likes of damper settings, stability control and lighting, and you can watch the split shift with the drive mode, from predominantly rear-driven in normal, sport and sport plus, to front-driven in range, though in each case the other motor's always ready to seamlessly step back in, sparing you the blushes of anything so uncouth as wheel spin, particularly, heaven forbid, on the front axle. What's it like to drive? Our Porsche Taycan review is quite gushing. It's one hell of an EV. Drive itself is seamless, bar the merest hint of a shift as the two-speed rear gearbox selects the taller of its two rations, and the car is entirely intuitive to pilot, with taut, clean and nicely defined steering, extraordinary body control that nevertheless allows just enough roll to help you understand the car behavior, no optional 2,315 pounds electromechanical anti-roll bars on this test car, and a remarkable neutrality to the handing balance. All of this, plus towering grip and stonking straight line speed, combine to see the 4S monster any road, journey or mission you care to task it with. It's so fast, so easy and so controlled that frankly it feels like cheating, and that's not to suggest the driving experience is somehow lacking in satisfaction or excitement because of the EV powertrain. It really isn't. Start to broach the tires limits, helped by wet, cold and slimy roads, and all four let go benignly and at the same time. Do this with a load of lateral load and some power and the 4S remains entirely controlled and balanced, hooking up and tucking its nose in like a good all-wheel drive Porsche should. The 4S is an astonishing level of performance, but it's also an astonishingly accessible and intuitive one. As a result, your prior driving experience is still relevant, Porsche choosing not to throw in such of weirdness that you're dumped unceremoniously back at the bottom of the learning curve. What about the range? When you've an EV with this much performance on tap, savaging your state of charge and remaining range display is as easy as falling off a log. Get greedy with the 4S's performance and the 288 miles of maximum WLTP range, with the 4,049 pounds performance plus battery, on the combined cycle is, of course, ambitious. In freezing temperatures, fully charged, our car displayed 182 miles of range. 52 miles later, after some motorway cruising and a run across the kinds of roads you're likely to seek out in something that drives this well, we'd lost a third of that charge, suggesting a sub-200 meters range. But doing much better than that would be easy enough to suggest Porsche's minimum figure of 242 miles is on the cards, should you be able to exercise restraint, keep your cruising speeds down and, ideally, save your hypermiling for climates more temperate than Lincolnshire in January. The Taycan's 800-volt architecture both boosts efficiency and makes for fast charging, if you get to the right kind of charger. But for most the decision remains based on usage and home setup. Regularly make shorter journeys, and can charge at home. We're in business. Park on the street and crisscross the country on random errands. It's a Panamera for you. We do like more range, but combined with excellent charging capability it means the Taycan 4S is still incredibly usable, bolstered by solid practicality, sound onboard technology and great quality. It's the pick of the range. Thanks for watch video.